What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Sideline Summit, episode 35. We have a great
Kevin
episode for you
Durant
guys
episode.
today. I was thinking about that. I was like, we could talk about Kevin Durant, but he's kind of 7 now, so I decided to pass on it. But, guys, we have a great episode for you guys today. We're going to be talking people stock up, stock down for week 3. We're into it a little bit. We can make some slight overreactions now. We're going to be checking up on our young quarterbacks, guys like Tua, Jalen Hurts, Joe Flacco, Trevor Lawrence, all the young guys. And of course, our week 4 picks. And before all that, we have to get in Summit Plummets. Guys, we are so close to 500 downloads. So when this episode drops, if you're watching on YouTube, go to the description, find our podcast outlet links. Give us a download on your favorite platform. If you're listening to this on a podcast platform, please just give us a download. We'd really appreciate it. We are so close to 500. We are 24 downloads away. Before we get into Summit's Plummets, Danny, how are you doing today?
Man, Steelers are 1-2, but it's a good day. I'm gonna roll right into my first Summit. It's this man right here, Devonta Smith. He
Huge game.
might have had
That's
the
a huge
best
game.
first half of football I've seen in a long time by any receiver.
Yeah, and
contested catch for a guy that's 170 pounds.
I was just about to say
he's
that.
making a lot of contested catches.
Exactly, and he's so athletic. We got to see a little bit of him get some yak. I mean, he's such incredible focus on the ball, on the sideline. His awareness is second to none. He's truly incredible. And I like that pick. I like him and Brown really did had a good game. I guess I'll pick it up with my Summit, and that would be I wanted to go with someone in the AFC North. At this point of the season, I was hoping I'd be picking the Steelers by this point. I'm going with the MVP frontrunner, Lamar Jackson. That man is going to get paid lots of money. The Ravens don't do it, someone will.
The Steelers will.
If that would be the craziest thing ever. You put a first-round pick on a quarterback, but Lamar Jackson hits the market, and you're like, damn, that's Lamar Jackson. We could steal him from a – look, man, Lamar is worth 5 first-round picks. Like, he's that good. He's absolutely my pick. He's been playing absolutely phenomenal. I think he's the MVP frontrunner right now. He's winning games. He's throwing the ball well. That's the only question mark about him. Don't know why it's a question mark, but it's a question mark about him. He clearly can throw the ball well. He's playing absolutely out of his mind. That's my Summit. Danny's Summit was Devonta Smith. 2 young, honestly, thriving athletes.
What I'll tell you is this. Away from football, the Summit has to be Albert Pujols. 700 home runs. He's historic. He's historic, man.
That's really crazy. Like, he is a legend. Like, it could get caught up in, like, you would, if it was like, how to break this, like if it's basketball terms, right? And let's say a guy like, not to say he's comparable to Vince Carter. Let's say like Vince Carter was like almost near 25,000 points and he gets it, but no one cares because LeBron just dropped a 30-point triple-double. Like, I'm glad he's getting that attention despite Aaron Judge trying to chase the AL record, correct?
AL home run record.
Yeah, the AL and Yankee home run record. I'm glad it's not getting washed away and we're appreciating it. I mean, are you going double Summit or do you got a plummet too?
I don't really got a crazy plummet, but I go double Summit. My double Summit goes to Howie Roseman. The Saints have looked horrible.
It's all paying off. It's all working out.
Man, if the Saints are still bad, the Eagles were going to wind up having the 32nd overall pick and the 1st overall pick.
Yeah, I mean, the Saints got to figure something out. You can't have all these weapons and
suck.
I think Jameis got a little overhyped for how they were winning last year. Like 5-1.
He's hurt.
He's hurt. Absolutely. Take him out then. Like, you've seen what happened with Baker Mayfield last year. That team the Browns were superbly talented. Like, they were very talented. You have a quarterback who can manage. Like, you got him in there. We can win games. if he's hurt, just take him out. He's not helping the team. Now, I get it. Your other quarterback, Taysom Hill, who's also out.
I'm gonna make a really hot take right now.
Make a call. Call up your guy Howie. Get Gardner Minshew in there. I'm pretty sure he'd love some
No,
Louisiana dishes.
I'm gonna make you a really hot take right now. The Browns are better off right now with Jacoby Brissett than they were with Baker Mayfield.
I think it's because, not to say Jacoby Brissett
That's
isn't.
not to say he's better than Baker Mayfield. That's me just saying that they're better off with him than they were with Baker.
I think because Baker's a little more prone to turning the ball over, and
yeah, exactly.
It's because he can make the big plays. His ceiling's obviously higher than Brissett. His floor can be slightly lower though, but Brissett takes care of the ball. He won me a huge game in fantasy this week, absolutely huge. It was between him or Carson Wentz in my super flex. There was no way I was starting Carson Wentz. I said, Jacoby Brissett, you got to go in there and win me a game. And God damn it, he won that game for me.
He's a dog.
He is a dog. He's a dog. Carson Wentz dropped. This scoring league's crazy. Like in a normal league, I think he would have dropped like 5 points. I think he dropped like 10 or 12. It doesn't matter. It wasn't close to Jacoby Brissett. And I'm still questioning who I want to start this week. Tom Brady's my starter. And then Wentz and Brissett for the super flex. I don't know who I want to roll with this week. Wentz has Dallas, and Brissett has Atlanta. But Atlanta's been keeping it. They've been kicking it.
Schmitz.
But yeah, my whole plummet is the NFC South. I wasn't high on the Panthers or Falcons, as no one should be. I was a little higher on the Saints. And of course I was high on the Bucks. They have Tom Brady, they got weapons, But that offense has looked very, very mortal. Like they've kind of been run first. Tom Brady I don't know how to explain how Tom Brady doesn't look like Tom Brady, because he's not some electrifying athlete where his play just doesn't look the same. But his offense, the offense led by him has not been good, to say the least. I mean, Aaron Rodgers and the gang only had 14 points, and they walked out of there with a win. I mean,
I think it's unfair. They were playing a great Packers team. The Packers have a top 5 defense in the league, and they were playing with practice squad wide receivers.
I think that is fair. But once you're out there, you're out there. I mean, but that does bring up two perspectives, though. I mean, Brady, all his guys are hurt. These guys he's been prepping with through the summer, He kind of took a vacation, but he's prepping with these guys through the summer, and then they're all hurt. However, though, Aaron Rodgers has been balling out with Romeo Doubs as his best receiver this entire time.
Oh, hold up. Obviously, Romeo Doubs he's good. He's very good.
Yeah, with all due respect, Tom Brady's used to throwing to Mike Evans.
Yes.
But yes, Doubs had a very good game. And of course, Randall Cobb is a staple for Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's not what he used to be, and he's not like Chris Godwin or whatever, but that's what he's used to working with. So you could either
Jordy Nelson or Randall Cobb.
Look at it from both ways. That used to be a dog duo, man. Like they used to be really good. They don't know about that, man. They used to be one of the premier duos.
How about Darren Sharper, one of the hardest hitting safeties in the league?
Sorry, guys. Public service announcement. Young LA dropped. Got a notification for it.
Young LA did drop.
Danny, we should reach out for sponsorship. The sponsorship podcast. That'd be cool. But without further ado, we have to get up into our week 3. Week 3 stock up, stock down. We're gonna pick some winners, losers. It can be anything: players, teams, defenses, offenses, coaches. I personally, I got one stock up, and this kind of tough for me to admit it because I kind of thought he was a bum. Tua Tagovailoa stock up this week. His offense was only on the field for 19 minutes, and he managed to outscore Josh Allen and the Bills. Obviously, huge credit to his defense. Like, they would get a stock up too. That defense is phenomenal, but big wins against big-time quarterbacks facing off, it does wonders for a QB's conference. Obviously, I'm very worried about his health. I don't know if he has a concussion or back issue, wherever they said. If he did have a concussion, the Dolphins sent him back in. They should have that man covered for life. That's very dangerous. But I really do like Tua. That's a little bit on the QB checkup too, but Yeah, I think Tua's stock is going up. Who do you guys stock going up? An offense, defense, team, player, coach?
I got stock going down actually to start. It's Justin Fields, and this isn't to say that he can bounce back, that he can't bounce back, but I think it says a lot when the Bears are only giving him 15 pass attempts in a game. Um, he he looks like he's uncomfortable throwing the ball. He can't find open receivers in the right windows. He just doesn't look like anything like he looked like in college.
At all. I mean, he's missing bad. They're not giving him a lot of attempts. And it says something when a team as bad constructively as the Bears are winning in spite of their supposed to be franchise quarterback is tough. I mean, playing at Ohio State, like it's it doesn't make sense. A lot of quarterbacks come from high and talented teams. Like Joe Burrow is successful, and he played at LSU where everybody was good. So like, how'd that prep him for the NFL? It's like Ohio State guys. Oh, they play behind the best O line. They have the best receivers. They got all the time in the world. Their guys are always open, so it doesn't prep them well. I'm like, well, Jalen Hurts had to deal with that, and Tua had to deal with that, and Joe Burrow did. They all had these successful last year campaigns. So what's up with Justin Fields? I mean, I don't know what's up with them. It could be a confidence thing. It could very well be a confidence thing. But yeah, I would
Yo,
agree.
before we go
Stock's
on, I'm
definitely
not going to
down
talk
there,
about
but
any
I
more.
don't get. Sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead.
before we go on, I don't want to talk about a stock real quick. I want to talk about the Arizona Cardinals. Why did Kyler Murray throw the ball goddamn near 60 times in the game?
And that can be a stock down. Your stock down can be Cliff Kingsbury and he should be fired before next Sunday.
He should be fired today.
Because
Like,
he's not a good coach. I mean, he literally got hired off the back of Patrick Mahomes. Like, what did Patrick Mahomes have to do with this? It's so
I think he's a
crazy.
decent
Teams so
coach.
caught up. They're so caught up trying to find the next McVay. You should just go look for a new fucking coach. Like, just try to find someone that. If you're going to go for a college coach, you should have reached out to Lincoln Riley. Like, what the fuck? Like, Kyler would have been down for
Man,
that.
it's really crazy that Kyler Murray is dropping back. It's not that he's just dropping back. He's dropping back, running around and trying to make a play 60 times in a game.
Yeah, and like it doesn't matter how athletic you are, how mobile you are, quickly on your feet. That's going to catch up to you, and eventually you're going to get yourself hurt, and it's going to be the coach's fault. But I mean, credit to Kyler for putting up with all the BS. I mean, hopefully next year they get him a real coach. Bring in Coach O. I don't know, bring him out of retirement. You can find
But
someone out of
no,
the
that
Alabama
was a
coaching
little
tree.
side note. That was a
Yeah,
side note. My next
I mean,
stock up. I'm
it's
gonna
still a
stock
good
up.
topic though. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Kingsbury is just very, very bad. But I gotta talk about my stock up now. My stock up has to be Dougie P. He left the Eagles. He's coming back
Philly
to
legend.
Philly this week. He's coming back to Philly this week at the link.
Yes, he is.
2-1 Jags versus the 3-0
3-0 Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm looking at tickets going to that game. I'm debating it.
You're already behind.
Trip to Delaware County.
Unfortunately, you're behind.
You're going?
Danny already put one in. Should have put 1 and 1 together. I'll be at the game on Sunday. I'm gonna be there. And it's gonna be a blast, man. I can't wait. It's my first Eagles game. It's essentially my own birthday gift that I kind of bought for myself. But yeah, we're gonna be Eagles Jags. Dougie P's homecoming. It's gonna be great. But I agree with you. Doug Peterson's he's already tied for fifth all time in Jags wins as a head coach. He has 2 wins. But he's doing a good job over there. You can see the evolution of Trevor Lawrence. You kind of realize again, oh my God, like he's good at football. Things are so much different when Urban Meyer isn't your head coach. And what just makes me think, like, how did Urban Meyer have so many successful years in college? Like, how?
Talent. He could just bring in talent. I think he just brought in like immense amount of talent.
But I think Ryan Day brings in the same talent like to Ohio State that he did. and Ryan Day's Ohio State teams are so much better than Urban Meyer's Ohio State teams. Like Ryan Day
They
has
are.
those dudes locked in on a different. He had Justin Fields looking good, like that's how good Ryan Day is. But Urban Meyer is bad. Like, but Doug Peterson, phenomenal job with Trevor Lawrence so far. Trevor Lawrence has evolved. I think he's a top 15 in a quarterback in our league as of right now. Not basing off last season, because we're basing off last season. We're including Russell Wilson, who's been a stock down this year. Yes, I threw shade at Russell Wilson to transition that very perfectly. Russell Wilson's been playing
Russell
bad.
Wilson sucks. He's bad.
Like, yes, his coach isn't giving him much help. But you put up 11, you put up 9 points because there was a safety on Jimmy Garoppolo's behalf. You put up 9 points. I don't care how good the Niners defense is. You're supposed to be an elite quarterback in this league. You got Jerry Jeudy, Sutton. You got KJ Hamler, who I don't know if that's considered a weapon.
Alberto.
He's coming up.
Alberto.
Exactly. He's got all these weapons. He's not doing anything with them. You asked him to cook, and he made you, I don't know, romaine
Ramen
lettuce
noodles.
Yeah, like he made you romaine lettuce pancakes or something. Like, dude, there's a problem. He's gonna have to fix it fast. Yes, they currently do sit at the top of the AFC West, technically, but that's not gonna last for long. You still got to play a lot of these dudes. You got to play a lot of these dudes.
He said, let Russ cook, and he'd give us hot dog water.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let him cook, and he's giving you pizza rolls in the microwave at best. Certainly, yeah. I mean, a stock up to a stock down. You got to be Russ. But let's go check up on the younger QBs.
I got one more stock up before we go towards the non-quarterback side. He's the NFL leader in sacks. He's on my Pittsburgh Steelers. Alex Highsmith. Everyone was wondering how the Steelers are going to get sacks without TJ Watt. Well, looky here. This guy right here named Alex Highsmith is an animal.
And, it only means when TJ comes back, it's going to create some single teams, and it ain't going to be pretty. The only problem with the Steelers is that
we suck.
They gotta throw in Kenny Pickett. Like, even if he isn't that much of a boost over Mitch Trubisky, bring some spark, like something, because you guys are gonna fall behind. Like, the Steelers are gonna fall behind really fast, and that's a shame because their defense is like actually really talented. They have 4 guys I would consider elite. Cam Hayward. You have TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, and you have Minka Fitzpatrick. Those are 4 elite guys on defense, and it'd be
Miles Jack is pretty close. Miles Jack is pretty close to being elite too.
Yeah, I mean, I won't even hold it against him that he can't cover too well. How many linebackers can cover super elite in this league anymore?
Like
3.
3.
Like my guy CJ Edwards, but that defense is too good to be wasted it with mediocre at quarterback. I'm too worried about not making turnovers, you got to make plays. If a defense is making plays, you got to make plays, or it's never going to work out. Starting off the QB checkup, it's Kenny Pickett's time. He's got to go. He's got to learn eventually. I think Pickett should be in. Any words on Pickett as you are a Pickett fan?
He's not. He's dressed on the sideline too. It's not like he's inactive.
He's there, and the struggles are there.
He's like,
and Tomlin looks past it.
Well, here's what I'll tell you: if the Pittsburgh Steelers lose to that dumpster fire of an organization as the New York Jets this week, then Pickett will be in. If they're losing to them at halftime,
well, just to fire your offensive coordinator
at halftime at a bad. Our offensive coordinator is one of the worst. I think we'd be better with Lamar Shaw as our offensive coordinator.
You would be though. Don't sleep. Don't sleep. Yeah, as you had Doug Peterson as your stock up. Trevor Lawrence, and that goes hand in hand. If you want to start the rant on the young QB checkup on Trevor Lawrence, while I go grab our notebook so we can do our picks after this.
Yeah, you got to look and see, and it all starts with a bunch of young quarterbacks everywhere. The Philadelphia Eagles have the best out of the bunch, and I think it's a hot take. Jalen Hurts is out of all these young first, second year quarterbacks, third year quarterback. I'm gonna take Jalen Hurts in front of all of them except for Joe Burrow and Herbert. I think Herbert is a third out of all the quarterbacks from year 1, 2, and 3 right now. I think Hurts is third.
From that
And
year,
maybe I'm
yes,
crazy.
but Trevor
No, I'm
Lawrence
saying
has
out of
the
all
highest ceiling.
has ceiling, but I'm saying right now, I'm out of all 3 years, this year, last year, and the year before, I think Hurts
This
is
year might
third.
as well not even
Um,
count. Like this year might as well not even count. We'll keep it
it's pretty
to
bad.
class of 2020, class of 2021.
I'm still taking
I
Hurts at
mean,
three. I thought he was the third best quarterback in that time when he was getting drafted. Mac Jones still went in the first round.
I th- Mac Jones was the year after.
Yo, I'm
Um,
saying, but I know he's the year after. I'm saying, but Mac Jones, it's just like, you know, it's the year after. But Mac Jones still somehow went in the first round. Is my point. Like,
um, you thought Jalen Hurts was the third best quarterback coming out of the 2020 NFL draft?
yes,
That's bizarre because Burrow and Tua were 1 and 2. Like outside of
yep.
health concerns, Tua would have went number one. Like if he didn't get hurt, he was probably going number one. And Herbert was like pretty locked in at 3, and a lot of people had Jordan Love over Hurts. I mean, no,
You know what's
it's
crazy?
not
You know,
that crazy, but
it's pretty crazy. I never saw Tua being better than Ertz. I
no,
never saw it.
I
Not when
think
he was benched. Nothing. I
that
was never really a
I
huge fan
can't
of
agree
Tua.
with that. I can't agree with that. Tua walked into the Alabama championship game, and you could just see it in the way he walked. He had a stronger arm than Jalen Hurts at the time. He was more accurate. He made better decisions. It
Here's
was
what I'll
clear and
tell you.
obvious as day. And he took this Alabama offense from, oh, Alabama's a stout defense with an offense that gets it done, to this offense that's putting up 50 points a game.
I think that the way that Jalen Hurts handled him losing his job said a lot. It
Yeah,
spoke a
it
lot
did.
about him as a person. Um, it spoke about a lot about him as, okay, I'm gonna let this man do what he has to do. I'm gonna come in and do what I have to do. And it's pretty crazy to think that an Alabama team has two. At one time they had two quarterbacks who probably both will make the Pro Bowl this year.
Both in the MVP conversation currently. I mean, they are the helmsmen of the only two undefeated teams in the league.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I was telling you Lamar Jackson. We were making our QB rankings. I was telling you that Lamar Jackson is still that MVP caliber.
Absolutely, he could be MVP caliber every year. It's a matter of him staying healthy. He is the one of the most talented quarterbacks in the NFL. And that's an absolute good call. A lot of people will count him out for his arm. They think you got him figured out. His biggest weakness was throw against the blitz, and he has
The
absolutely
Dolphins had that figured out.
annihilated the blitz.
The Dolphins figured that out 2 years ago on that Monday Night Football game. He could not throw against the Dolphins. He didn't know how to
I
read a
mean,
blitz.
but now it's a completely different ball game. Checking up on another young quarterback who should be coming back this week, Zach Wilson. Joe Flacco's been absolutely thriving in this offense. Joe Flacco has a rocket of an arm, just like Zach Wilson. I'm very excited to see Zach Wilson get into this. It's his first time going to be playing with Garrett Wilson. Obviously, he's going to have Corey Davis still.
Yeah.
And Brees Hall at running back. I mean, he didn't look too good in the one
And they
drive
got
he played against the
the
Eagles
best
in
white boy of all
preseason
time. They had the best white boy
himself.
of all time. Braxton
Himself.
Berrios.
Okay. I was going for Mike Gesicki there, but I'm excited
Mike
for Zach Wilson to get back in the mix.
Gritty.
Well, we won't speak of that there. I hope Zach Wilson is a better gritty than that, but I'm excited for him. This team hasn't looked well. No, they kind of have, but outside of that, like sneaking by the Browns, yeah, they've looked terrible. But I mean, I'm excited to see him with Garrett Wilson. I think if we had to go with QBs who passed their checkups, I mean, at this point in the season, Hurts, Tua, Lawrence, guys who haven't passed their checkup so far, Fields, can't say anything about Wilson yet. Mac Jones hasn't. Even before he hurt his ankle, he's just wasn't playing well. He didn't play like a guy who could sub in at the Pro Bowl. He's not playing like a guy where the Patriots thought like, oh, we have no questions about it. Like he was one of the only quarterbacks last year which no one had to talk like they was like, oh, he's just gonna be the franchise guy. I'm like, well, he's not playing too well. Trey Lance wasn't playing too well before he got hurt, but I mean Trey Lance is like literally probably the biggest football project in NFL history. At the quarterback position. He's the rawest prospect of all time. I mean, that was a gamble to take him. Will it pay off in the long run? We don't know. But yeah, hopefully this is Jimmy's last year there. Get to see that. But
I
I'd
don't
say
know that
stock down for now.
the 6'7" quarterback for the Denver Broncos that sucked. Say a difference.
I think Trey Lance in his 1 year at North Dakota State University washes any quarterback that the Broncos have had since Peyton Manning, and that includes week 1 through 3 Russell Wilson. Those, I mean,
You know what I'm talking about, right?
the young guys
Paxton
are thriving.
Lynch.
Yeah, I know,
Paxton
but
Lynch.
there's a lot of tall white guys he drafted that didn't work out. So, wasn't Brock Osweiler like pretty tall, like 6'7" as well?
Yep.
Yeah, and he stinks. Because John Elway can't draft. But we can move on to our picks, of course. Week 4 picks. Just to give you all an update, I'm 25-23. Danny is 23-25. He fell off a cliff last week. But he's undefeated on his locks. Very smart with his locks. I'm 1-2 on the locks. I'm finally won a goddamn lock. But yeah, we can get right into it. We're going to start with, of course, the London game. The Minnesota Vikings are facing the New Orleans Saints. I'm taking the Vikings.
Rightfully so. I'm taking the Vikings. I think Justin Jefferson washes Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah, I mean, after 2 weeks of getting absolutely clamped, I would hope Justin Jefferson finally steps it up because he's going to be fighting some fraud allegations if he gets locked up again. Because, like, you can, yes, beating all these bad corners or schemes where they don't have the best corner on you is, like, impressive. But, like, if teams realize they can lock down, like, a lot of teams have a number one, like a true number one corner. If they realize they can just throw that guy on Justin Jefferson, he's a complete wash and he's not in the game.
Here's what I'll tell you. Before we move on, I think you might have forgot to put Dolphins Bengals, the Thursday night football game, on there. Earlier.
I did, but I wrote it in a weird spot, so we were gonna do them second.
That's fine.
So Dolphins Bengals is gonna be a good one. All
the signs point to
really don't know.
Bengals, right? It's an offensive shootout. I'm taking the Dolphins. Tyreek Hill versus Eli Apple. Bring it on.
He said he owes him one. I'll agree with you on this one, though. I'm going to go with the Dolphins. I don't doubt Tua's abilities in a shootout anymore. He's got the weapons. He's got, the accuracy. I think he's going to be fine as long as he's ready to play. Like, as long as he's playing. If he's not playing, then I'm voiding this pick. But
I want to tell you this. Ready? The key to success for a young quarterback is getting him a elite receiver in year 3. Josh Allen made a big step getting Stephon Diggs in year 3. Jalen Hurts, Tua Tagovailoa. And then, you know what they did? They did it 1 year early for Trevor Lawrence. They got him Christian Kirk.
Ooh, elite is very pushing it on that one. But
that was sarcasm.
If anything, they got Christian Kirk, Trevor Lawrence. But
yes, exactly.
Yeah, you gotta if your QB shows some flashes, give him someone elite and be like, "Yo, you gotta work with this." And I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna work with this," and that's usually what happens. Even a while back for the Eagles, Carson Wentz showing the flashes. They're like, all right, we're gonna grab you, Alshon Jeffrey. We're gonna get you, Torrey Smith, and they balled out. And they
watch, bro.
Torrey Smith caught arguably one of the most. Torrey Smith caught the most important pass of the playoffs before the Super Bowl when he caught it off the knee. He wasn't washed. He had plenty of good plays that season. Screw you, just because he wasn't the Ravens' Torrey Smith. He was very exceptional. But speaking of Trevor Lawrence and Eagles and all that stuff, they play this weekend. And picking the home team, picking the Eagles.
Yeah, I think the Eagles come in and wash this team down. I think although people are like, oh, they beat the Chargers, they have the best roster in the NFL. The Chargers
Chargers
are
were
hurt,
being bad. They were like damaged. They were truly
rightfully
damaged.
so. My pick about the Chargers not losing many games this year is going to change, and it's not because they lost a few games early in the season. It's because
They can't
Rashawn
stay healthy,
Slater is hurt.
and Joey Bosa just got put on IR 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's like when your top players, your tackle, your best edge rusher,
They're just
Derwin
simply the
James.
team. They're just bad luck. It really is.
Yeah, I was about to tell you, the Chargers are the Cowboys of the AFC.
Yeah, I mean they'll always have the talent, but they can't get it done.
Sorry, I'll have to say sorry, Jacob.
Yeah, sorry, bro. It happens to the best of us. The Eagles will win it this year for you, though. Don't worry. Moving on to an incredibly mid-off, we have the Bears versus the Giants.
I think Saquon Barkley runs for 3,000 yards this game.
I would disagree. I've actually been very impressed with the Bears' defense so far. I'm going to go with the Bears.
I'm going with the Giants. I think Daniel Jones is a bounce back week.
Said
To
no
be
one ever.
fair,
Said no one ever.
I think he played pretty well against the Cowboys, actually.
I don't think he did because he didn't put up a lot of points and he threw a lot of bonehead passes,
I
like
don't
he
think he played
does.
great. I think he played decent.
Well,
I think
great ain't gonna do it against these high end defenses.
yeah, literally the Cowboys have probably a top 10 defense in the NFL.
Top five. Their defense is absolutely amazing because not only is Micah Parsons him, we know that their linebacker core is incredibly disciplined. DeMarcus Lawrence is looking like who he's supposed to look like, and on top of all that, Trevon Diggs is good. Believe it or
He's
not,
okay. He's okay.
he's good. He has been
He's
a
not
top five.
great. He's
He
not
has been
great.
he has been elite this season. He's been
Man,
elite
hot take.
this season. This season,
Jeff
he's been
Okudah is
elite.
better than Trevon Diggs this season.
That's not a hot take at all. Jeff Okudah has been the best corner in football this season. So, not a hot take. Those two are both elite. They've both been playing great this season. Javon Diggs is not someone you can just bully this year. He's been very disciplined, not getting beat with the double moves. And of course, on top of all that, he has insane ball skills. You'll never see me defend a Cowboy this hard. Because I used to watch on Stephon Diggs, but when I see improvement, I see improvement. He's playing absolutely phenomenal.
I'll tell you this.
But to your
I'll
credit,
take Darius Slay. I'll
that's
take
fine.
Darius Slay over any of them.
That's fine. That's fine. He's him. He started the trend of locking up Justin Jefferson. So, can't blame him. That's my son. But, back to the Bears and Giants. Yeah, this is going to be an absolutely horrible game, but I'm going to take the Bears. Something that sounds a little more realistic, Justin Fields bounce back game. I don't know. These quarterbacks both might finish under 200 yards. Bills Ravens, game of the week in my eyes. You have Lamar and his Ravens versus the Bills coming off a loss.
Give me the Bills.
You're going the Bills. I'm going the Ravens. If the Bills are still banged up, then I don't know. Even if they were healthy, I don't think they have stopping Lamar Jackson is no easy task. Obviously, stopping Josh Allen's no easy task. But Marlon Humphrey's been one of the best corners in football this year. He's going to be stacked up against Stephon Diggs. If you find your mismatch, I mean, Marcus Peters is on him. He's no world beater, but it's a good cornerback too.
The Bills have one of the best D lines in the NFL.
And Lamar Jackson is. Go ahead. I was just going to make a smart comment. Go ahead.
No. I think they have one of the best D lines in the NFL, and if they're going to try to contain Lamar, they have a good shot to do it.
Lamar plays best off script. So he's going to keep that.
I'm saying
he's going to roll out, keep the eyes downfield. Them corners are going to start sucking wind, and then he's just going to pop one over the top. I do like the Ravens in this one. I do like Lamar Jackson continuing his MVP campaign against the MVP favorite to start the year. Now, an absolutely horrible game next. Browns versus Falcons. Not yet.
Not Titans Colts.
Not yet. Yeah, not yet. We'll get there, though. We got Browns versus Falcons. I need to go Browns for the sake of my fantasy team because I think I'm going to end up starting Brissett. Oh, the
Also,
Falcons.
as
The
for
Falcons have been very competitive, though. The Falcons have been very competitive to their credit. I'm going with the Browns, though,
I think the Browns start 3-1.
and that's a very ideal start without your sex offender at quarterback. Um,
Yeah,
you
it's
just gotta stay afloat until for some reason he walks out of his house scot free. Um, Chargers Texans. This just sounds like a game the Chargers would blow. It really
they're
does. I
they're
don't want to
not.
pick against them, but like
They're not.
I'm gonna pick the Chargers. We're both gonna pick the Chargers, but they could very easily blow this game.
They don't.
I hope not, because starting
No.
1-3 when I picked you to
Far enough.
go to the Super
Far
Bowl is
enough.
tough.
Far enough. I'll lock them.
Woo! Who would have thought Chargers Texans would be a lock? All right. Well, we got Commanders Cowboys. This obviously important game for NFC East standards. A win would leap someone to second behind the Eagles, unless the Giants win. But I'm going with the Cowboys here. You saw what the Eagles D line did. Micah Parsons is about to do like 2 times that. Like I think he might end up with 4 sacks this game. They are if you don't have an answer for Brandon, if you don't got an answer for BG, you don't got an answer for Josh Sweat, have fun trying to find an answer for DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons. I'm going with Cowboys.
Yeah, I'll take the Cowboys. I think the Commanders keep it close.
They'll do it in Wentz fashion. Fourth quarter, they're down bad. He gets 2 touchdowns, bringing in 1 score, but it doesn't really look like that.
I don't
You
know
know
what it
what?
is.
I'm
The
locking the
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
The
I'm gonna do it.
Cowboys cannot. The Cowboys cannot contain Antonio Gibson for whatever reason.
I lied. The Eagle and me just had a repulsive moment. I can't lock the Cowboys or Commanders. Um, for boldness, I'm gonna lock the Ravens because this is
Wow.
their last this is
Wow.
their last chance. This is their last chance. I'm locking them to beat the Super Bowl favorites. But I mean, if they win, great. But if they don't pull this out, then I'm not picking the Ravens. I don't care who they play. They could be playing Texas A&M. I'm not picking them. And Jets Steelers. I'd hope the Steelers win this game. This kind of feel like the Chargers game. You should win this one. This is
Here's
Zach
what I'll tell
Wilson's
you.
first game back, though.
The Steelers, if they don't win this game, they might as well tank for Bryce Young.
Tank for Young. Yeah,
But
yield for Young.
our next 6 games have the Bucks, Bills, Eagles, Dolphins.
It's 4-0.
That's yeah.
You're
for the
throwing
other
Pickett.
team.
You're throwing Pickett.
Throw in
So
Pickett if Pickett
So
sucks.
you're taking Steelers here?
I'm taking the Steelers, but I think I'm going to pick against the Steelers the next 4 weeks. So
It's gonna be a lot. I feel good. I feel like I won't have to pick against the Eagles this whole year. Will I be right every time? Absolutely not. But I'm confident in.
you sure?
I'm confident. I'm highly confident in them going
They're
into
gonna have
every
one
single
loss.
game.
Jalen Hurts, number 1. You're going to have 1 loss. It's going to be the Cowboys on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, when we wrap up the division 4 weeks early.
Because you're 14-0.
I would hope so. I mean, we look unbeatable right now, but we're not beating good teams with that second half offense. Seahawks, Lions, going Lions pretty easily here. I've been very impressed. Despite a loss last week, I'm still very impressed by them.
I think the Lions are the obvious pick, but I'm taking the Seahawks.
Woo! I was right in Lions for you. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the Seahawks are competitive. Absolutely.
They're competitive. Geno Smith is making every single pass. Like, he's converting on like 75% of his pass attempts. It's kind of absurd.
I mean, who would have thought Geno Smith about a decade into his career would be doing this? Next. Now we have an absolutely mid show. We have Titans, Colts. Titans, you were right last week. You weren't high on the Raiders at all. Titans got a win. Colts absolutely shocked the nation and beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And this is a battle of 2 of the top backs in the league that have just not seen their fair share of touches so far this year. You got Jonathan Taylor versus Derrick Henry. I was going to give up on Derrick Henry. I really was. He's on my fantasy team. I was ready to give up on him. I threw him in the flex. I said, this is your last chance. And he came through and got me a win. So I'm going to go with him and his Titans instead of the Matt Ryan-led Colts.
You know what's crazy? I'm taking the Colts here.
I love the disagreement this week. This makes for great content, and it makes for me
I
having a
think
way better record.
I think the Colts are just a little bit better on defense than the Titans.
I think it's fair. I mean, once you beat a team like the Chiefs, you're like, okay, like we could have done this last 2 weeks if we just pulled it together. Well, probably not the Jaguars game, but you would have if you pulled it together against the Texans. You're 2-0
Common denominator
with Colts
is
fan,
a guy named Rodrigo Blankenship. You cut him, and your team starts winning.
that's
Simple as
crazy
that.
because he was really chill like that. But
He was
next
cool.
we got
With his
Cardinals.
Legos.
Cardinals, Panthers. These teams are a lot closer than I thought they were because I thought Kyler Murray would be on his absolute Superman stuff this year, and which he is, and he's still losing. But I'm going to take the Cardinals. I'm going to take Murray over his predecessor, Baker Mayfield, to get a win. Hollywood Browns been playing absolutely amazing this year. Like, I thought it was a joke that his fantasy stock was going to go up, but, like, no, he's actually been playing great.
Yeah, I'm taking the Cardinals. I think it's damn near close to a lock.
Double lock. Drew Lock. Next, speaking of Drew Lock, we have his former team up next. Broncos versus Raiders.
The Raiders need it bad.
The Raiders need it bad, but I think you can almost argue that the Broncos need it just as bad.
I'm taking the Broncos. I think the Raiders start 0-4.
I'm going to take the Raiders until they get a win. They are way too talented for this. However, one of these coaches has to lose. So I think one of these that is very possible. It's very possible. Speaking of Josh McDaniels led teams, his former team's up next. The Patriots take a trip to Green Bay to play the Green Bay Packers, and they're going to get absolutely curb stomped by Aaron Rodgers and his
Bailey Zapp is going to go into Green Bay and
Brian Hoyer starting. Brian Hoyer starting. I know it's such a shame that Zapp's not starting, but I think Hoyer, the Destroyer, is in for this game. They should trade for Minshew. I think if anyone's having quarterback issues, come see us. We'll give you Gardner.
Mason Rudolph, the future Patriot.
It's very fitting.
He would fit in with the culture perfectly.
Yes, he would. Yeah. Moving on. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers hosting the Kansas City Chiefs in a Super Bowl 50-something rematch. I lost count. I'm going with the Chiefs. I think they have a huge bounce back week. This is another team where I will rarely pick against them, no matter who they're playing. And the Bucs, unless Tom Brady pulls out, a vintage one. I mean, that offense is not moving with Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs. I don't think the Bucs are that good anymore. I don't think they were ever before the season in this point where, we're crazy. Mike Evans will be back. Godwin's still out. Julio's a game time decision.
And they're no, like they have a good quarterback in Tom Brady. He's no Jalen Hurts, but I feel you though. I mean, they're beat up, and this Chiefs team, I mean, they let one get away from them last week, and they usually don't do that. So, moving on, last game of the week, Rams versus 49ers. This would be such a better game if Trey Lance was playing. But we've settled for Jimmy Garoppolo versus Matt Stafford.
What we saw in the NFC Championship game.
I'm going to go with that. You're going to go with the Rams?
All signs point to the Rams. The Rams struggle historically with the Niners. I don't know why, but I'm taking the Rams. I think Aaron Donald's too good. I think Jalen Ramsey's too good. I think that Ben Skoranek coming out of the backfield, Cooper Kupp clone, is somehow changing the dynamics of the Rams offense.
Well, I'm going with the Rams as well. Those are our week 3 picks. If you just heard that, I just threw my notebook. I'm going with the Rams on that one. Week 4. I said 3 because that's how many interceptions Jimmy Garoppolo is throwing. Sorry. But Jimmy Garoppolo, no good. He's no good. And he used to be like extremely serviceable. Like I was always kind of like, oh, he's winning games. Like it doesn't really matter. This team is just winning. But no, I mean, he just doesn't look good. Like he looks extremely bad, actually.
You're right.
No, yeah, he looks absolutely horrible. That's all I have about to say to it. But thank you guys for tuning in. Again, show love on the YouTube. Show love. We're very close to 500 downloads. So Apple Music, Spotify, Good Pods, Podchaser, anything where you listen to your podcast on, please just give us a download. We really appreciate it. Danny, anything to say before we head on out?
What I say is tune in Friday night, Penn Sprint football versus Army Sprint football. It's going to be a showdown.
I will post the link to the live stream on Twitter for him. Danny is going to put on a show. What are you guys playing? Army?
Army. It's going to be a game.
It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be physical. Watch the people who protect our country get beat up by business majors. But
oh yeah.
yeah, but business majors versus oil stealers.
Yeah.
Again, thank you guys for tuning in. Keep showing love, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.